Hello everyone, this is Aparna Shetty, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, AG Institute of Engineering and Technology. In this video lecture, I would like to explain the design and analysis of algorithms laboratory, lab program 5. Okay, so let me explain lab program 5 from the design and analysis of algorithms laboratory. Okay, so first let us go through the question of this program. Sort a given set of n integer elements using a merge sort method and compute its time complexity. Run the program for varied values of n greater than 5000 and record the time taken to sort. Plot a graph of the time taken versus n on a graph sheet. The elements can be read from a file or can be generated using random number generator. Demonstrate using Java how the divide and conquer method works, along with its time complexity analysis, worst case, average case and best case. Okay, so I hope in the theory you all have studied about the merge sort algorithm, correct? You all might have studied about the time complexity of merge sort algorithms. Okay, here basically in this program they are asking you to sort, okay, to do the sorting of elements, okay, by using the merge sort. By using the merge sort technique, they are asking you to sort the elements. And they are asking you to find the time complexity by running the algorithm for varied values of n. Okay, and also to the elements you can read it from a file or you can generate it from a random number. Okay, so basically we want to sort integer elements, okay, by using merge sort. So let us begin with the program here. So in this program there are two classes. One is merge main class, okay, and one more is merge sort class. Okay, so the two classes are merge main, okay, it ends here. One more class is merge sort. In this class we have two methods. One is merge s method and one more method is merge method. Okay, so first let us see about the merge main class. Okay, in this class we have the main method. Okay, you know why we need a package, correct? Package is used to group the related classes. So here we are creating a package that is merge sort. Okay, and we are importing the package java.util.random. Okay, this package is used to generate random numbers. Next, if you see, we will import java.util.scanner class. Okay, why we need to import the scanner class? To read the input from the standard input. Okay, so if you want the user to enter some input through the keyboard, then you need the scanner class. Okay, next if you see, we have defined the class merge main. Inside that class, we have defined this main method. Okay, in the main method, as I have already shown you the next class, that is merge sort, correct? We have that merge sort as the next class. So in that merge sort, for that class I'm creating an object. Okay, here m is an object of merge sort class. Okay, so m is an object of merge sort class. Next, s is nothing but the scanner object. Okay, and in the next line this r is nothing but the object of random class. Okay, using this r object we can generate the random numbers. Okay, so initially we will want to enter the value of n. Here n is nothing but the size of the array. Okay, n is the size of the array, so n is equal to s dot next int. We are asking the user to input the value of n. Okay, so user will input the value of n, and next here we are declaring an array. We are a is equal to new int of 10,000. So this is the size of the array. 10,000 is the size of the array. So we are creating a new array a over here. Okay, and next using this for loop, what we are doing is we are assigning the values for array. So in the question they have told that you can create the elements, okay, that is integer elements to be sorted. Here we are storing the elements in the array. Okay, here we are going to sort integer elements, and those integer elements we will be storing it in a array. And the elements of the array, we are using random numbers to generate that array. Okay, so to read the elements of a array, I will be generating random numbers. Here R is the random object, okay, object of random class. R dot next int will generate the next integer random number. Here 100 means, okay, this next int method will generate a random integers in the range 0 to 99. Okay, so 100 means it will generate random integers within 100. So R dot next int will generate a random integer and it will assign it for a of I. Okay, similarly we'll assign the values for a of initially I will be 1, right? Initially I will be 1. So initially we will assign the value for I will be 0 initially, a of 0. Okay, after that we will assign the value of a of 1. Okay, suppose now if the n value is 8, okay, if the user has entered the value for n as 8, then we have to read, using this for loop, we have to read values for a of 0, a of 1 up to a of 7. Correct? Array indexing is from 0 to 7. Okay, so we have to read the array elements from a of 0 to a of 7, and we are using random integers, okay, to initialize this array. Okay, so the values for this array elements will be random numbers generated. Okay, so that is what we have created an array now. Okay. Next, we would like to display the array elements before sorting. So before sorting, the array elements we will display. Okay, using this for loop, int I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, it will display the value of a of I before sorting. Okay. Next what you are doing is low will be 0. So as I told you, okay, suppose if n value is equal to 8, correct, n value is equal to 8, and suppose if I have the numbers, say a of if I input, if the numbers in the a array, say it is 2 4 1 6, okay, 2 4 1 6 8 5 3 7, 8 5 3 7. Okay, suppose if this is my array with these elements. Okay, so this index will be 0, this will be 1, these are the index. This will be 3 4 5 6 and finally 7. This is my array indexing. So if the size of the array is 8, low will be 0. This will be low. Correct? Low will be the lowest index, that is 0. Okay, and high is equal to n minus 1. N is 8, high will be 7. So this will be high. Okay, so this is my low and high. So low will be 0 in this array, okay, and high will be 7. Okay, so this is the array elements before sorting. After sorting, I will get the array elements like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right, and 8. So these are the after sorting, okay, the array elements should be arranged in this increasing order. So here now, once I have initialized low and high, first I calculate the start time. Okay, I will find out what is the system time, what is the current system time, okay, before starting the sorting. Okay, before I call merges to sort this array, okay, before I call merges, I will find out what is the current system time. That is system.nano time will return the current system time in nanoseconds, and that I will assign it to start. Next I will call merges method, which will sort this array. Okay, it will sort this array and it will arrange the array in this increasing order. Okay, it will sort and arrange the elements in the increasing order. After that, once I call merges and merges returns, next I will find out what is the current system time after I sort. Okay, so end, okay, will find the system time at the end of the sort. Okay, so I have found out the system time at the beginning of the sort, okay, as well as I have found out the system time at the end of the sort. Okay, so I have found the system time at the beginning of sorting. After that I have called merges to sort, and then again I have found the system time at the end of the sorting. Next, if you see, what I'm doing is, after sorting the arrays, that is, I'm displaying the array elements after sorting. So it should be displayed like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here I'm just taking this example of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, the random numbers are generated. Okay, so it can be any numbers in the range 0 to 99. Okay, so I will be displaying the array elements after sorting using this for loop. Next, if you see, what I'm doing is the time taken to sort. Here I want to find out that the merge sort algorithm, how long will it take to sort the elements. Okay, so the time taken to sort is end minus start. End is the system time at the end of the sorting, and start is the system time at the beginning of sorting. So end minus start will give me the total time taken by the merge sort algorithm, okay, in nanoseconds. So later I will display the time taken to sort, that is end minus start, in nanoseconds. So this was about the main method. Okay, so in the main method what we did, first we read the value of n. Next we generated the array A elements, okay, using random method. After that we displayed the array elements before sorting. We initialized the value of low and high. Okay, those low and high are passed as parameters to merges method. Here merges method, I will pass parameters low, high and A, the array. Okay, as well as I'm calculating the start and the end time of sorting. Okay, I will do the sorting by using this merges. After that I will display the sorted elements, and finally I will display the time taken to sort these elements. Okay, so this was about the main method. Now next what we have to do is, okay, we have to see how this merge sort algorithm works. Okay, here I have made a call to merges method. From this merges method is defined in merge sort class. Okay, now next what we have to do is, our job is to find out how this merges method works. Okay, we have to see how this merges method works, right? So let us go to the merge sort class and see the merges method. So this is my class here, merge sort. I have this merges method. It takes 3 parameters, low, high and A. Okay, now what I want you all to do is, see here, before going for the method, okay, forget about this method, just concentrate on this example. Okay, here I have given one small example. Okay, now just concentrate on this example, forget about the coding part, we will see it later. We will just concentrate on this example. Suppose I have these array elements now. Suppose as I have already told you, the size of my array element n is equal to 8, right? and low will be pointing to 0, right? As well as high will be pointing to the highest index, that is 7. Now, in merge sorter, what we will do is we will break this problem into sub-problems. Okay, so first our job is to break this array into sub-arrays. Okay, that is, you have to break the array into 2 equal halves. Okay, now to break this array into 2 equal halves, I have to find the mid position. Okay, here the mid position is 3, right? Now if I add 0 plus 7, okay, suppose if I add 0 plus 7, low plus high divided by 2, okay, I will get 3.5, right? Since here I'm only dealing with integer, the integer part of 3.5 is 3. So this will be my mid position, right? So this will be my mid position. Okay, so I will be splitting this array into 2 equal parts, okay, based on the mid position. Now suppose if in this array, if there are odd number of elements, then you cannot split it into 2 equal halves. In that case, one part will have one element more than the other part. Okay, but in our example, we have 8 elements. So we can split it into 2 equal parts, that is each part having 4 elements, right? So we can split this array into 2 equal parts, that is 2 subparts we can split. So here if you see here, now suppose if you assume that, as I told, first we have to divide this array into 2 equal parts. Okay, that is one part will be here, it will consist of the elements 2, 4, 1 and 6. One more part might have these elements 8, 5, 3 and 7. Okay, and for now I just want you all to assume that suppose by some means, okay, suppose by some means if these 2 subarrays are sorted, okay, that is the first subarray will be like 1 should come first, then 2, then 4 and finally 6, right? Hence this subarray is sorted, correct? Similarly, if this subarray is sorted, how to sort it we will see it later. For now just assume that it is sorted. Okay, so here we'll have 3 first, after that we'll have 5, then we'll have 7, correct, and after that we will have 8. Okay, so just assume that. Okay, how it is getting sorted and all I will tell you later. Just assume that first I have this whole array, I have divided into 2 equal subarrays, okay, by finding the mid position. Next, these 2 subarrays I have sorted. So the first part I have sorted and the next part I have sorted. Okay, so let us see here. Okay, before going for that merges method, so what I have done is I have this array, I have 2 sorted subarrays, right? I have 2 sorted subarrays. Okay, next what I want to do is, okay, don't concentrate on the coding part, students. I will explain the coding part. Now I am explaining this example. Please concentrate here. So now what I will do is, I want to merge these 2 subarrays, okay, such that when I merge these 2 subarrays, I want to sort and merge them. Okay, this was my original array. I split it into two sub-arrays. Next, I sorted each of these sub-arrays. Again, what I want to do is, I want to merge these two sub-arrays into the original array, okay, in the sorted order, okay. For that, I have this code. Okay, just to go through this main merge method. Okay, this merge method will merge the two sub-arrays, okay, in sorted order into the original order, array. Okay, so it will merge two sub-arrays in sorted order into the original array. Okay, so here if you see this, just go through this code for merging. Okay, don't worry, merges method I am yet to explain. First you understand this concept of merging, then that merges method becomes easy. First, now just concentrate on this merge method. Okay, this merge method, if you see, you will have parameters low, mid and high. Okay, and you have the array A. Here low is 0, correct, high is 7, and just put the slideshow so that I can write. Low is 0, correct, low is 0, this is low, high is 7 here in my case. In this example, high is 7. And mid was 3. I have already calculated, right? Mid was 3. Okay, so this left array will have from 0 to mid, that is 0 to 3. Into two equal halves I have divided it. 4 and 4 to 7 indexing will be in the second part. Okay, now see this merge method. Here what I am doing is, if you see here, I have declared I, K and J variables. Next, I have declared a new array B. Okay, we'll see why it is used later. Now, I is equal to low I am initializing. So, the value of I will be 0 over here. Okay, K is also equal to low. So, the value of K is also equal to 0. J is equal to mid plus 1. Mid is 3. What is mid plus 1? 4. So, J is equal to 4. Okay. Now, I have this condition while I is less than or equal to mid and J is less than or equal to high. Okay. So, I will be here. Okay. And J will be here. Okay, and K will be pointing to this B array. Okay, I will be pointing to this left part. This is the original array only. Okay, all these changes I am doing it in the original array, that is A only. Just I've split and written it. Okay, and J will be pointing to mid plus 1, which is 4, and K will be pointing to 0. Okay, here what I am doing is, here the first element in I, in this left part, I am comparing it with the first element over here. Okay, if this is small, then I will put here 1. Okay, next what I am doing is, this element is done. So, I will get incremented to the next element over here. After that, I am comparing 2 and the 3. Okay, so we will see that how it is done. See, while I is less than or equal to mid and J is less than or equal to high. So, mid value is 3, right? High value is 7. Here, what is the value of I? I value is 0. Is 0 less than or equal to 3? Yes. J value is 4, right? J value is 4. Is 4 less than or equal to 7? Yes. If A of I is less than A of J, what is A of I here? A of I is 1. Is it less than A of J? Yes. 1 is less than 3. Now, B of K is equal to A of I. B of K means K is 0. B of k is equal to A of I. So in B of k I will put A of I, that is 1. Next, now this element is done. Next I will increment I becomes, so when I increment I, okay, initially my I was pointing here, okay, to 0. Now I becomes 1, right? I becomes 1, but j you are not incrementing. Okay, so I becomes 1, j you are not incrementing. Okay, so I gets incremented to 1 and j is still at 0. Okay, so next over here else. So if A of I is less than A of j, we will do this task. Okay, we will do B of k is equal to A of I. Else B of k will be A of j. Okay, and j will be equal to j plus 1. So in these two subarrays, okay, we will find out which element is small. Okay, since these two subarrays are sorted, we will compare each element. Okay, element by element. So which is the smallest element in these two arrays, that element I will put it in B array. Okay, and since in the first iteration the if condition was satisfied, we will not go to the else part. Okay, we will not go to the else part, we will just increment k. K is equal to k plus 1 we will increment. Okay, here just k gets incremented, k becomes 1. Initially it was 0, k also got incremented. Okay, so continue with the next iteration of the while loop. Okay, now the value of I is 1. Is 1 less than or equal to 3? Yes. Next, the value of j is 0 only. 0 is less than or equal to 7? Yes. If A of I is less than A of j, what is A of 1? 2. Is it less than A of j? That is 3. Is 2 less than 3? Now we are comparing 2 with 3. Is 2 less than 3? Yes. Now again B of k will be equal to A of I. So B of k, that is B of 1, will be 2. That is A of 1. Since A of 1 is equal to 2, so B of k is equal to A of I. So B of 1 will be equal to A of 1. Next, I becomes equal to I plus 1. So I was 1 in the previous iteration. Now I becomes 2. Okay, since the if is satisfied over here, it will not go to the else part. Okay, this else part will not get executed. Next step, it will increment k. Okay, k will be incremented to 2 and it continue with the next iteration of the while loop. Okay, now I value is 2. Is the 2 less than or equal to 3? Yes. Okay, and is j less than or equal to I? J is still 4, right? Is 4 less than or equal to 7? Yes. Again, now, if A of I is less than A of j, what is A of I? 4. Okay. Is it less than A of j? Is 4 less than 3? No. Now this if becomes false, it will go to the else part. Okay, in the else part, B of k is equal to A of j now. Okay, compared to 4 and 3, which is the smallest? 3 is smallest. So in B of k, you will put the smallest element, that is 3. Okay, so B of k value was 2, so B of 2 is equal to 3 now. Okay, next in this case, I have to increment j. So whenever I am putting the jth element, okay, this rightmost subarray element, I have to increment j. Okay, as well as after the else I have to increment k. Now k becomes 3. Okay, repeat with the next iteration of the while loop. Okay, till this while loop becomes false, I have to repeat with this while loop. What is the value of I? I value is 2. Is 2 less than or equal to 3? Yes. And is j less than or equal to I? J value is 5. Is 5 less than or equal to 7? Yes. Okay. Next, test this if condition. If A of I is less than A of j, A of I is 4. Okay. Is it less than A of j, is it less than 5? Yes, 4 is less than 5. Among 4 and 5, the smallest is 4, right? So that 4 I have to put in B of k. So A of I less than A of j is true here. So B of k will be equal to A of I. A of I is 4. Okay, so B of k, that is B of 3, will be equal to 4 now. Right, I is equal to I plus 1. So in this case now increment I. Since if is true, we will not go to the else part. Increment k, k becomes 4. Okay. Next, repeat with the next iteration of the while loop. I value is 3. Is 3 less than or equal to 3? Yes, 3 is equal to 3. Right? J, is it less than or equal to I? J value is 5. Is 5 less than or equal to 7? Yes. Okay, test this if condition after that. If A of I, is it less than A of j? What is A of I? 6. Okay. What is A of j? A of j is 5, correct? A of j is 5. Is 6 less than 5? No. So go to the else part. Now B of k will be equal to A of j. What is there in A of j? 5 is there. So B of k will be A of j, that is 5. Right? After that you increment j, j becomes 6. As well as after you come out of the else part, you increment k, k becomes 5. Right? Okay. So repeat with the next iteration of the while loop. I value is still 3 only, right? I value is 3 only. 3 is less than or equal to 3? Yes. J value is 6. 6 is less than or equal to 7? Yes. Is A of I less than or equal to? Is A of I, okay, less than or equal to A of j? What is there in A of I? 6 is there. Okay. What is there in A of j? 7 is there. Is 6 less than or equal to 7? Yes. Okay. Compared to 6 and 7, which is smallest? 6 is smallest, correct? So B of k is equal to A of I. Now in B of k, you will put the smallest element, that is 6. I is equal to I plus 1. I was 3. Next iteration, when you increment I becomes 4. Okay, since the if condition is true, we will not execute this else part. We will just increment k. K was 5. Next iteration, k becomes 6. Okay. Now, next iteration of the while loop, I value is 4. Right? I value is 4. Is 4 less than or equal to 3? No, this condition becomes false. So you stop with this while loop. Okay, so you stop with this while loop. So basically what we have done here is that we have divided the given array into 2 sub-arrays, and in each sub-array it is sorted. Correct? Each sub-array is sorted, and in each sub-array we are comparing the two elements. Correct? And which element is smallest, that element we are putting to the B array. Okay? Till when we will do it? Till one of the sub-arrays, okay, till one of the sub-array has finished putting all its elements. Okay, till you have completed putting all the elements in one sub-array, okay, to the B array, you stop this while loop. Okay, now which are the elements left? You are left with 7 and 8, correct? These two elements are left, right? So we will see how to put those two elements. Next, our job is we have to copy these two elements into the B array, right? So we will see how to do it. Okay, see this, I have put it in the next slide. Next, what I do is I check if j is, here I will check if j is greater than I. Okay, in my case, in the previous iteration, if you see, the value of j was 6, correct? J was 6, but I value was 4. Okay, over here j value was 6. I value was equal to 4, right? At the end of the while loop, j value was equal to 6, right? So was 6 greater than or equal to high? High is 7. 6, is it greater than 7? No. So this if condition fails. Okay. So if that if condition fails, you go to the else part. Okay. So in the else part, what you do is, okay, in the else part is from here till here, right? Till here it is the, so much is the else part. Okay. In the using this else part, I will copy these remaining two elements. Okay, the remaining two elements in the rightmost sub array to B array. Okay, so let us see how it happens. I'm using this for loop to copy here. I have this new variable h. H is equal to j. So what is the value of j initially? It is 6, right? So h is equal to 6. Is 6 less than or equal to high? High value is 7. Is 6 less than or equal to 7? Yes. Okay. Now b of k is equal to a of h. Okay. So b of k value was 6, right? The previous slide we have seen k was updated to 6. So b of 6 is equal to a of 6, that is we are putting 7 over here. Right, k is equal to k plus 1, so k gets updated to 7. Okay, and repeat with the next iteration of the for loop here. H plus plus, h was 6, now h becomes 7. Okay, h was 6, now it becomes 7. 7 is less than or equal to 7? Yes, correct, 7 is equal to 7. Next, b of k is equal to a of h. What is there in a of h? 8 is there, that is you have to put it to b of k. So I copy 7 and 8. Next I increment k. So k was 7, k becomes 8. Okay, and again you increment h. H was 7, h also becomes 8. Okay, now is 8 less than or equal to 7? No, the for condition fails. Okay, so you come out of the for loop as well as you come out of the else. Okay, so here what we have done is, if in any of these, let me consider this as the left subarray, let me consider this as the right subarray. Okay, so if any of these subarrays, if there are elements that are remaining, okay, the remaining elements I am supposed to copy it to the B array. Okay, so j is greater than high. Okay, that is if j is greater than high means in this case what it means that the R array has finished putting all its element to B, right? The else part when you'll go means the L array has finished putting all the elements to B. And in our example, this was true. Correct? In our example, this was true. We had finished putting all the elements of this left subarray to B array. Correct? What was pending is to put the remaining elements of this right subarray to B array. That we did using this else part. Okay? In our condition, the left subarray had completed putting all the elements into B. Okay, the left subarray had completed copying all its elements to B. Okay, and we had to copy the remaining elements of right subarray to B. That we have done using this for loop. Okay, and here using this final for loop, what we are doing is, now the sorted elements are in B array, right? So we have these elements in the increasing order. Next we are copying it back to the A array. Okay, the sorted elements, we are copying it back to the A array. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, we'll copy the sorted elements to the original A array at the end. So this was how merging took place. Okay, so I had just asked you all to imagine that okay, if we split the original array into two subarrays, and these two subarrays are sorted. Okay, how we can sort and merge them in the original array. Okay, that I have shown so far. Okay, now you might be thinking that how to split that original array into subarrays. Okay, so let us see that part. Okay, that is explained over here in the merges algorithm. Okay, so this merges algorithm, what it does is, okay, it will divide the given array into two subarrays. Okay, and it will continue to divide the arrays such that only one element is left in the array. Until only one element is left in that array, it will keep on dividing. Okay, next step is to merge the subarrays into the original array. So let us see here. First iteration, we are passed with this entire array, correct? In the first iteration, we will be passed with this whole array, right? So we will be passed with this entire array. Here, low was 0, correct? High was 7, and we have passed with this A array. We will check if low is less than high. 0 is less than 7. Yes, initially 0 and 7. 0 is less than 7. We will find the mid here. Mid value was 3. Initially the mid value is 3. Right? We will call merges again. Okay, we will call merges again. We will pass the parameters 0, 3. Here we are calling merges again. We are passing the parameter 0, 3, and we will pass A array. Here if you see, within the merges method, we are making a call to itself. Okay, these are called as recursive function, a function that calls itself until the stopping condition is met. Here the stopping condition is low is less than high. Okay, so until that stopping condition is met, we keep calling merges. Okay, now again this merges, I pass the parameter 0 to 3, right? Here it will split into this subarray. Now what happens is, the original call of merges, whichever you had called for this entire array, that will halt or that will pause. Okay, now what it will do is, it will handle this call to merges. Within merges I had called merges again, correct? So it will handle this first before proceeding with the next step. Okay, now when you call merges 0 to 3, low value will be 0. Over here low value will be, if you see here, okay, I'll erase. Now if you see here, you have called merges with 0, 3, A, no? So it will go here, low value is 0, high value is 3, and A array is passed. Again, we are checking if low is less than high. In our case now, high is 3, right? High value is 3. So is 0 less than 3? Yes. Compute the mid element. Mid is equal to low plus high by 2. Okay, so here low is 0. Compute it here only. So low is 0, high is 3. 0 plus 3 divided by 2, correct? It will give you 1.5. Okay, since mid is an integer variable, it will store only the integer part, that is 1. Okay, so now in this case, this is mid, 1 is mid. Okay, so here if you see, it will split this array again. After after computing the mid, now here again it will call for mid s. Again it will call for mid s. Low value is 0, mid value is 1. It will call merges on 0 and 1. Okay, so it will that array has split into this subarray 1, 2. It has called merges on 0, 1 and A. Okay, again you will go to the, again this call for merges will be sorted. It will call merges, okay, and over here low value will be 0, okay, and high value will be 1 now, right? High value is 1. Next it will check if 0 is less than 1, correct? It will check if low is, it will check if low is less than high. If 0 is less than 1. Is 0 less than 1? Yes. Again it will compute the mid now. Okay. Now mid value will be 0 plus 1 by 2. What is 0 plus 1 by 2? The value will be 0 plus 1 by 2. Okay. You will get 0.5. Okay. We want only the integer part. Since mid is an integer element, the integer part is 0. So again it will split on 1 over here. Okay. So once it has reached this part, okay, again it will call merges. It will pass the value 0. Okay, mid value is also 0 and A. So it will make a call to merges here. Low is 0, high value is also 0. Okay. Next it will test this condition if low is less than high. In our case is 0 less than 0? No. So here the leftmost call to the merges has stopped. Okay. Here it will stop. To this call it stops. Now it calls the right subpart of this array. Okay. Now it will call for mid plus 1. What is mid plus 1? Mid was 0. Okay. Mid plus 1 was 0 plus 1 is 1. Okay. Here high is also equal to 1. Right. High is also equal to 1 and it will call on A. So here low it will call merges, right? Here again it is calling itself with the values 1. Low will have 1, high will have 1 and it will pass A. Again we are finding mid. Okay, when you find mid, 1 plus 1 by 2, right? 1 plus 1 by 2. How much will it be equal to? You will get the mid as 1, right? And now it will call merges. Okay, low will be 1, mid will be 1 and A. This merges will get called over here. Okay, here low will be 1, high is equal to 1. Is low less than high? Is low less than high? No. So it will stop. Okay, so you have splitted it into this is subarrays. So here what we are doing is, okay, this original array, first we will split it into 1, 2, 4, 6. From 1 to 4, 6 we will split it into 1, 2, this subarray. Okay, next we will be splitting it into this array with one element. When we reach an array with one element we will stop. Okay, we will stop and then this arrays right subarray we will start splitting. We had finished just splitting this left subarray, right? We had finished splitting this array's left subarray. Okay, after that we will start splitting its right subarray. Okay, the right subarray consists of 4 and 6. So here 4 and 6. Again when we split it, it will have two arrays with one element each, that is 4 and 6. So when it reaches one element, the stopping condition over here will stop. Okay, so after that this original arrays, right subarrays we will start splitting. First it will split to 3 and 5. Okay, after that we will split it to one element each, that is 3 and 5. Okay, and after we finish here, 7 and 8 it will split. Okay, then split further into arrays with one element. This is divide and conquer. The given array, you keep splitting it, okay, in such a way that there are one elements. Okay, but when you are merging, what you have to do is, okay, as we have already seen the merging technique, when we are merging it, okay, we have to sort and merge it. So 1 and 2, when you are merging, it is already sorted, correct? 1 and 2 is already sorted. Here 4 and 6 also is already sorted, so you can merge it as 4 and 6. Okay, and this 1, 2, this and this subarray, when you are merging it into this subarray, you have to sort and merge it. Okay, so 1, 2, 4, 6, you can merge it as sorted. It is already sorted. Here if you see, okay, 3 and 5, correct? 3 and 5, when you merge it, you have to sort. It is 3 and 5. Similarly, 7 and 8, when you merge it, you have to sort and merge it. Okay, and finally these two arrays, when we are merging, we have to sort and merge it as 3, 5, 7, 8. Okay, so here I have already sorted. Initially itself I had sorted. So this was about merge sort algorithm. First, the given array, we start splitting it until we have one element in each of the subarrays. Next, when we are merging it, we have to sort and merge into the original arrays. Okay, so these two arrays we will sort and merge into this array. These two arrays we have to sort and merge into this array. These two arrays we have to sort and merge into this array. And finally, these two arrays we have to sort and merge into the original array. Okay, so this was about how merge sort algorithm worked. Okay, I hope you have understood. Merges will start splitting, and it will call merge to merge the splitted array into the original array, correct? So we have also seen this merge algorithm, how it works, right? So that was about merge sort. I hope you have understood. Please go through the program once. Let me execute this program and show you how it works. Okay, so if you see here, I have already created the program for you. I have merge main method, correct? Here I have merge main method, where I have written the main method, correct? Merge main class I have written the main method over here. Okay, and this is the implementation of merge sort. So there are two methods, merges and merge. In merges method, what we are doing, we are going to split by calling merges again and again. Okay, and we are calling this merge method to sort and merge into the original array. So the merge method over here will sort and merge back into the original array. Okay, so this was about merge sort. We will run and see here. First, see here. It will ask the user to enter the value of n. Suppose I enter the value of n as 10. Sorry, in my example, I will enter the value of n as here it is random numbers are generated, right? In the program, random numbers are generated. I had taken an example with 8 elements. Here are random numbers. Suppose if I give n value is 10. Okay, then see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 random numbers are generated and it is printed. Before sorting, it will display the elements after sorting 20, 26, 34, 35, 49, 72, 93, 97, 99, 99. Correct? It is in sorted order. And also it is displaying the time taken to sort this array. Right? So that was about merge sort algorithm, that is lab program 5. I hope you have understood. If there is any doubts, you can ask me. Thank you.